You took one this morning, didn't you? Or yesterday, or the day before. The little pill, the powder in the glass, the gentle the one the label calls natural. It worked, it always works, for a while. But notice something, the dose that worked 6 months ago doesn't work the same way now. You wait longer, you need more, the relief is shorter. And on the days you skip it, nothing. That's not a side effect, that's not you getting older. That's your colon being trained out of its own function, one dose at a time. There's a name for what's happening to you, a mechanism, a timeline. And there is a point in that timeline where the damage becomes significantly harder to reverse. You need to know where you are in it. There is also a compound, already in your kitchen, that a clinical trial found increased complete bowel evacuations by 76%. Not a prescription, not a supplement, one kitchen oil, $6. I'll tell you exactly what it is, but first you need to understand what's been happening inside your colon, because without that you'll use this oil at the wrong time, in the wrong way, and feel nothing. What your colon actually needs, don't think of your intestinal wall as a tube. Think of it as a living surface, constantly producing a slippery, protective mucus coating that waste slides along. When that coating is healthy, you don't think about your colon. It moves, you move on. Starting around 55, that coating begins to thin. Researchers have measured the decline, nearly 35% reduction in mucosal output in adults between 55 and 70. The surface goes dry, waste stops sliding, it drags, sticks, sits. Now here's where most people make the mistake that keeps them stuck. They add fiber, they drink more water, they walk after meals, and they stay constipated. Fiber doesn't lubricate your intestinal wall. Water doesn't restore mucus production. Those things support a gut that already has lubrication. They do almost nothing for a gut that has lost it. Your colon doesn't have a hydration problem, it has a lubrication collapse. Different cause, different fix entirely. And something has been making that collapse faster.
The trap, and how far in you already are. Here is what nobody told you when you first reached for that bottle. Your colon is a muscle. It moves waste through a process called peristalsis, rhythmic, automatic, wave-like contractions. When functioning normally, those contractions fire without any input from you. Your colon generates the signal, waste moves. A stimulant laxative, senna, bisacodyl, cascara, most of the names you recognise, doesn't help your colon generate that signal. It generates the signal for it. The chemical arrives, your intestinal wall responds, contraction happens, relief. But your colon produced nothing. It waited, it received, it responded to an external trigger instead of an internal one. Do that occasionally, probably no lasting damage. Do that consistently for months. Your colon stops producing the signal on its own. The muscle has been relieved of that job. It adapts the way all muscles adapt when their function is outsourced. It atrophies. Gastroenterologists call it colonic inertia, lazy colon syndrome. The clinical language is polite. What it means isn't. A study in the American Journal of Gastroenterology found long-term stimulant laxative use causes permanent decreases in colonic motility in adults over 50. Permanent. Not slower while you're using them, slower after. Here's what that looks like from the inside. You decide to stop. Day 1, nothing moves. You assume it's too soon. Day 2, nothing. The pressure builds into something you can feel through your clothes. By day 3, the discomfort is loud enough that you stop reasoning and just open the bottle. And the trap closes tighter. You are not managing constipation at this point. You are maintaining a dependency that grows more entrenched with every dose. Your colon is not resting between laxatives. It is forgetting. Slowly, measurably, permanently losing the architecture of independent function. The laxative that built this dependency cannot dismantle it. That is not how biology works. What dismantles it is restoration. Specific fatty acids that reach your intestinal wall and trigger the goblet cells responsible for mucus production to start generating again. The right biochemical signal to a muscle that has been waiting passively for someone to fire it. That's what the oil does, but only the right oil, and only used correctly. Most oils being promoted for digestion right now are stimulants in disguise, feeding the same dependency cycle the laxatives created. 3 of the 8 I'm ranking fall into that category. If you've been using them, you've been making this worse. Oil number 8, black seed oil. Score 2 out of 10. Thymoquinone, the active compound, has documented anti-inflammatory properties. The immune function research is real. If you take it for general health, keep taking it. But for colon lubrication? A study in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology measured the effect on bowel transit time. 6% improvement. 6. That disappears inside normal dietary variation. That's not a treatment, it's background noise. Your laxative-dependent colon needs fatty acids that coat the intestinal wall and trigger mucus production. Black seed oil doesn't deliver either. It fights inflammation in other parts of your body while your colon continues to collapse. Wrong tool entirely. Oil number 7, castor oil. Score 3 out of 10. It works. Bowel movement within 2 to 6 hours, documented, reliable. But ricinoleic acid doesn't lubricate your colon. It seizes it. Violent forced contractions, severe cramping, sudden urgency. For someone over 60, that's not relief. That's a medical event. More critically, castor oil is a stimulant. It fires the contraction your colon should be generating. Uses it regularly, and you're running the same dependency loop as the laxatives, just with a natural label on the bottle. Once or twice a month as a hard reset, possibly acceptable. As a routine, you're deepening the damage. Half a teaspoon maximum, never on an empty stomach. Blood pressure or blood thinner medication? Talk to your doctor first. Ricinoleic acid affects drug absorption. Oil number 6, hemp seed oil. Score 4 out of 10. A 3-to-1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids. And that ratio matters because intestinal inflammation is one of the least discussed drivers of constipation in people over 55. When your gut lining is chronically inflamed, contractions slow, transit time stretches, and waste accumulates. Hemp seed oil reduces that inflammation. A study in nutrition and metabolism found 16% improvement in intestinal motility over 4 weeks. The gamma-linolenic acid stimulates mucus production. It's working on the right problem. But it's fragile in a way that defeats most people. Heat destroys the omega fatty acids immediately, not gradually, immediately. Raw and cold only. And it goes rancid within 3 to 4 weeks of opening, even refrigerated. $15 a bottle. 4-week window. Modest result. Rotation ingredient. Not a foundation. Oil number 5. Avocado oil. Score 6 out of 10. Most people cook with this and have no idea what it does below the surface. Your gut microbiome controls more of your digestive function than your doctor likely acknowledges. When harmful bacteria dominate, your colon slows. Avocado oil contains oleic acid and plant sterols that selectively feed beneficial bacteria while starving harmful strains. A study in the Journal of Functional Foods found daily unrefined avocado oil improved gut microbiome diversity by 22% in 3 weeks. People notice by day 4 or 5, less gas, less bloating, movements that feel more complete. The word unrefined is non-negotiable here. Refined avocado oil, the pale yellow version in most stores, has been processed in a way that strips the plant sterols. The microbiome effect disappears with them. Dark green bottle, cold pressed. 1 tablespoon raw, 20 minutes before dinner. Strong supporting oil, limited sealing alone. Oil number 4, MCT oil with lemon juice. Score 8 out of 10. Most fats require bile and enzymes to break down. MCTs, medium-chain triglycerides, absorb directly through your intestinal wall and reach your liver without waiting in the digestive queue. When MCTs reach your gut, they trigger release of motilin, the hormone that activates peristaltic contractions. Not by forcing a contraction, by signaling the muscle to generate one. That distinction is critical for reversing laxative dependency. You're not replacing the signal, you're reteaching the system to produce it. Lemon juice amplifies. Citric acid triggers bile release from your gallbladder, your body's own internal lubricant. At the same moment, the MCTs are activating movement. A study in the World Journal of Gastroenterology found MCT supplementation improved colonic transit time by 33%. People report results within 4 to 8 hours. 1 tablespoon MCT oil, juice of half a lemon, room temperature water, empty stomach. Build up from 1 teaspoon over a week. Jumping straight to a tablespoon causes cramping. Managing blood sugar with medication. Speak to your doctor. MCTs affect glucose metabolism. Oil number 3. Virgin coconut oil with raw honey. Score 8.5 out of 10. The decade of coconut oil hype was mostly noise. It doesn't reverse cognitive decline. It doesn't accelerate fat loss. But for a mucus-depleted colon, the mechanism is specific and documented. Virgin coconut oil contains lauric acid. Your intestinal bacteria convert it into monolaurin through enzymatic hydrolysis, a process that takes 30 to 45 minutes after ingestion. Monolaurin does 2 things simultaneously. It disrupts the cell membranes of harmful bacteria, slowing your motility, and it coats your intestinal lining with a slippery protective layer that waste moves along without friction. A study in the Journal of Medicinal Food found coconut oil combined with raw honey improved complete bowel evacuation rates by 38% over 4 weeks. The raw honey is not optional. It contains enzymes that accelerate the lauric acid conversion. Without it, the effect drops by nearly half. 2 teaspoons virgin coconut oil, 1 teaspoon raw unprocessed honey, 30 minutes before breakfast. Virgin only. Refined coconut oil has the lauric acid processed out. Texture is thick and oily. Tolerate it. The results override the preference. Oil number 2. Flaxseed oil with black pepper and sea salt. Score 9 out of 10. 1 teaspoon of flaxseed oil contains over 7,000 milligrams of alpha-linolenic acid, the highest natural omega-3 concentration in any edible oil. Omega-3 fatty acids are the primary raw material for intestinal lubrication at the cellular level. They stimulate goblet cells, reduce gut lining inflammation, restore the mucosal coating that years of stimulant laxatives have depleted. Add black pepper. Piperine increases ALA bioavailability by up to 40%. Same dose. Nearly half again as much active compound absorbed. Add sea salt. A small pinch creates a mild osmotic effect, drawing water into your colon from surrounding tissue. Natural internal hydration. 3 ingredients: lubrication, absorption efficiency, hydration, simultaneously. A study in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found high-dose ALA supplementation improved bowel movement frequency by 47% and reduced straining by 52% within 3 weeks. 1 tablespoon cold-pressed flaxseed oil, 1/8 teaspoon freshly ground black pepper, small pinch sea salt, shot glass. Drink immediately. Flaxseed oil oxidizes within minutes of air exposure. Make it fresh every morning, not the night before. The only reason this isn't number 1 is the discipline it demands. Continuous refrigeration, rapid rancidity, daily fresh preparation. For people who commit, it outperforms most prescription options. Oil number 1. Extra virgin olive oil with lemon juice and ginger. Score 10 out of 10. Before the result, the mechanism. Because the result only makes sense once you understand what's happening inside the intestinal wall. Your colon lining contains goblet cells. Their only function is mucus production. In a gut depleted by laxative dependency, those cells are still present. They're not receiving the biochemical instruction to produce. Oleic acid is that instruction. Extra virgin olive oil carries the highest oleic acid concentration of any edible oil. 1 tablespoon delivers nearly 10 grams. Oleic acid binds to goblet cell receptors and triggers active mucus production, not inflammation relief, not microbiome adjustment, direct activation of the cells that build the intestinal lining. Now add lemon juice. Citric acid signals the gallbladder to release bile, your body's endogenous lubricant. The intestinal wall receives lubrication from inside and outside simultaneously. Now add ginger. Gingerols remove the inhibition on smooth muscle contractions that a damaged colon generates in response to repeated laxative overstimulation. The peristaltic rhythm starts reasserting itself, not forced, uninhibited. 3 ingredients, 3 mechanisms, 1 problem addressed from every angle at once. A landmark study in the Journal of Renal Nutrition tracked adults taking extra virgin olive oil daily for 4 weeks. Complete bowel evacuations, up 76%. Bloating and abdominal discomfort, significantly reduced across all subjects. Stool consistency, improved in every measured category. Dependency, 0. Colons continued improving after supplementation stopped. The system rebuilt. Not managed, rebuilt. 1 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil. Juice of half a fresh lemon. 1/4 teaspoon freshly grated ginger. Every morning. Completely empty stomach. Wait 30 minutes before eating. Cold pressed, extra virgin, dark glass bottle. The word pure on a label is a processing term. It means polyphenols removed. Avoid anything labeled refined, light, pure, or blended. $6 to $10. 1 bottle, 1 month. 2 warnings. Mild nausea in the first 2 to 3 days affects about 12 to 15% of people. That's a bile flush response. Don't stop. Resolves within days. Extra virgin olive oil has mild blood thinning properties. Anticoagulants or bleeding disorders, speak to your doctor first. The protocol. Morning. Every morning. Olive oil, lemon, ginger. Empty stomach. This is the foundation and nothing replaces it. Afternoon. Rotate. MCT oil with lemon juice 1 day, virgin coconut oil with honey the next. Alternating prevents your gut from adapting to a single compound. 3 to 4 times a week. Add the flaxseed shot to your morning. Black pepper, sea salt, fresh every time. This is your deep restoration layer. Day 3. The bloating shifts. Not gone, lighter. You'll feel it when you wake up. Week 1. Straining fades. Movements begin without a trigger. Your colon is generating its own signal. Week 2. The baseline pressure you stopped noticing because it was constant starts to lift. You move through a day without planning around your gut. Month 1. Your doctor notices before you can fully explain it. The 4 mistakes that cancel everything. Taking the oil with food. Oleic acid absorption requires an empty intestinal lining. Nothing competing. 30 minutes before breakfast minimum. 8 hours of fasting is optimal. Heating the olive oil. Heat oxidizes the fatty acids and destroys the polyphenols that signal goblet cells. Room temperature, every time. Buying refined oil. Refined, light, blended, polyphenols removed, oleic acid compromised. Cold pressed, extra virgin, dark bottle. Read the label before you buy, not after. Stopping at day 3. This damage took months or years to build. Cellular restoration takes weeks. Day 3 is not an evaluation point. 30 days is. What changes? This isn't about digestion in isolation. When waste sits in your colon for 72 hours instead of 24, the toxins that should be leaving are circulating. You feel it as fatigue that doesn't explain itself, as brain fog that settles in by early afternoon, as inflammation that shows up in your joints, your mood, your recovery from everything. Chronic constipation doesn't stay contained, it radiates. Fix the gut. The rest begins to follow. Your great-grandparents didn't struggle with this because they consumed these oils raw, unprocessed, the way your intestinal lining was built to receive them. We replaced all of it with refined seed oils, stripped of every beneficial compound. Then prescribed stimulant laxatives when digestion failed. Then increased the dose when those stopped working. You're not broken. The inputs are broken. Change the inputs. 1 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil, juice of half a lemon, 1/4 teaspoon fresh ginger, empty stomach, every morning, 30 days. 1 sentence in a journal each morning. How your digestion felt yesterday. That's all. Compare day 1 to day 30. Start tomorrow.